Excellent. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to KO Bets. Let me get situated. That was shorter than I expected. Decent song, decent tune. Like I said, this is KO Bets. Welcome. My name is Bill. I'm the host. Every week we do this show live on Friday nights. Sorry about that. I was gonna say I'm about to sneeze. So we have this show every Friday night. We go live at around 7:30. Oh my gosh. I think it's the whiskey, honestly. It's messing me up. We go live at 7:30 Central Time every Friday before UFC events on Saturday. Tomorrow we've got UFC Fight Night 215, Derek Lewis against Spivac. That's taking place. It's an earlier card, taking place at the UFC Apex Arena. Let me flash through my screens here. This is the channel. Before I get started, if you wouldn't mind, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Helps me out, and I appreciate the support a lot. It means a lot. Let's pull up UFC.com. R.I.P. Mikey Schneider. Kind of a sad story. Pretty decent article if you want to read that. Kid had cancer when he was 11. Big fan of the UFC. And, they just kind of write about his relationship with Dana White and the UFC as a whole, and it's a pretty cool article. Always sad when someone young passes away. So let's go over last week. We had UFC 281, incredible card. We had Israel Adesanya taking on Alex Pereira, Carla Esparza taking on Zhang Wei Li. So those were our two title fights. We got the Adesanya prediction wrong. Pereira scores the 5th round knockout. Had Zhang Wei Li with the finish. That was correct. Dustin Poirier also inside the distance. That was a good bet. Got the Frankie Edgar pick wrong. That was a bummer. Dan Hooker with the nice bounce back. Renato Moicano, good pick. Dominic Reyes, bad pick. Got freaking starched. Aaron Blanchfield looked dominant against Molly McCann. Gets the round 1 submission. Petrosky got that one wrong. I went with Wellington Thurman. Frivola with the big time win. That was awesome. Didn't predict Carolina correctly. I went with Silvana Gomez Juarez. And Olberg won, Jackson won, Trizano was an underdog who won. I had Seungwoo Choi. Otherwise a pretty decent card. Minus the main event, but it happens. You get fights wrong on occasion. Looking ahead to this week, we've got UFC Fight Night, Lewis versus Spivac. After we go through the fights, I'm going to get through the fights here, and after we get through our fight preview, I will definitely, I've got some news to share with you. Let me write that down. I'm starting something new, if you like, I guess, the type of stuff I talk about, you might find it interesting. After the fights, we'll go into trending topics. I'll do my announcement, then we'll do trending topics on Twitter. And then the goal is for everyone to come out of here with a really solid understanding of tomorrow's fights, who they should bet on, who they should maybe stay away from. I'm really looking forward to... it's an early card, too. I think prelims start at noon Central Time. Main card starts at 3. So that's kind of nice. Doesn't monopolize your evening, We have Natalia Silva taking on Teresa Bleda. Natalia Silva, heading into this contest, she's 1-0 on a 7-fight win streak. Her last loss was in 2017 to Marina Rodriguez, who we obviously saw lose to Amanda Lemos, but looked outstanding in her most recent fight. Good takedown defense, solid striker. She's taking on Teresa Bleda, who's making her UFC debut. Let me move it this way. The camera's over here. Making her UFC debut. She's only 20 years old. Super young, super green. Definitely should grapple in this matchup if she's not able to secure takedowns and be dominant on the ground. I think it's going to be a tough matchup for her. I like Natalia Silva on this. We'll see what the odds makers think. Natalia Silva is the favorite at -165. I would say it goes the distance. Yes, -190. Odds makers agree. I like the Natalia Silva decision, +165. I like probably better the fight to go the distance at -190. If we're looking at these two girls, these two women, they are... So 3 out of 5 losses have come inside the distance. 2 submission losses for Silva. And Bleda's obviously undefeated up until this stage. But I would anticipate this to go the distance. Rolling with Natalia Silva money line. Next fight we've got is Brady Highstand taking on Fernie Garcia. Let me drink some water. I feel all congested because I had this, I was sneezing when I went live. Nightmare conditions, I tell you. Brady Highstand taking on Fernie Garcia. Brady is coming into this fight. Sorry, just checking my chat there. Brady's coming into this fight 0-1 in the UFC. Had a split decision loss to Ricky Tercios, who we'll talk about later on this fight pick and prediction show. His other loss was to Chad Engheliger. Not sure why I can't pronounce that right now. Engheliger, who's also a UFC fighter. So he's lost to 2, UFC caliber pros. Takedown machine, kind of shaky on the feet. If you're looking at that striking discrepancy, it's not very good. Fernie Garcia, he'll probably hold a stand-up advantage in this. He's got a little bit of a wrestling background, but he should definitely want to keep this striking. Brady Highstand's just going to drill those takedowns. Look at that. Average of 6 per 15 minutes. Not the best takedown defense from Fernie Garcia. He could probably get up, though. Overall, I think I'm going to like the activity of Brady Highstand a little bit more than Fernie Garcia, and I think that's what's going to win him the fight. He's going to maybe be the aggressor as far as grappling exchanges go. He's going to be the one drilling takedowns. My only concern is, like, with any wrestler, if you're not getting the takedowns efficiently, you can tire out as the match goes on. Fernie Garcia definitely needs to keep this standing, definitely needs to make it hard to get taken down, and he could win this fight. But I'm going to roll with Brady Highstand. I'd say probably a unanimous or majority decision, split decision, I don't know. Something like... I think Brady Highstand could maybe have enough takedowns in each round where he takes each round, but If Fernie Garcia clearly takes any round, we would probably get that split decision result. But rolling with Brady Highstand, probably the fight to go the distance. Odds makers like that as well at minus 175. Winning method, I'd have to say Brady Highstand decision. Yeah. Looking at their win-by percentages, could he get some ground and pound going? Perhaps. But I'm going to roll with Brady Highstand on the money line. Honestly, both of these first two fights, probably good ones to avoid. In addition, this one, Vanessa Demopoulos taking on Maria Oliveira. Vanessa Demopoulos, she's on a 2-fight win streak. She's 2-1 in the UFC. Good grappler, strong. Maria Oliveira, she's on a 1-fight win streak. She's 1-1 in the UFC. Beat Gloria DePaula, lost to Tabitha Ricci. If we look at the Tabitha Ricci loss, I want to pull up the stats. She got taken down 5 times. I mean, that's the concern in this matchup is if Vanessa Demopoulos gets her to the mat, she's going to be really effective. Maria Oliveira hasn't really shown too great of an ability to get back to her feet. She is tall. I want to draw your attention to the reach advantage, the height advantage there. She's going to have a distinct advantage in the stand-up game. Vanessa Demopoulos, like her best bet at winning this, I think, is just closing the distance, pushing Maria up against the fence, securing takedowns, and winning in that manner. We just don't see Vanessa Demopoulos shooting for takedowns. You can see that. 0.32 takedowns per 15 minutes. Horrible takedown accuracy. You can see there's a big lack of takedown defense here. If Oliveira gets taken down, she's going to look really bad. If the fight stays standing, Vanessa is going to look bad. It's just grappler against striker. Based on the lack of takedown attempts from Vanessa, I'm inclined to go with Maria Oliveira to win a decision. If Vanessa gets it to the ground, I do think it could end inside the distance with the submission. If we're looking at Maria Oliveira's record, she's got 2 submission losses. Vanessa Demopoulos doesn't have a ton of submission wins, but she is a far superior grappler in this fight. I'm going to roll with Maria Oliveira on the money line. I think she can point out a decision. I don't trust Vanessa to consistently get takedowns. If she does get a takedown, it's going to be a dominant position for her. Probably going to avoid betting on this one simply because of that fact. But I'm going to roll with Maria Oliveira. She is a slight dog at minus 105. Odds makers like this one to go the distance, minus 190. I do as well. Man, I'm just like thinking about my round robin. I'm like, I might do the distance on these first 3 fights for the round robin picks. I don't know about betting on money line predictions with these fights, but I think they could all go the distance for these first 3. Yeah, Maria Oliveira via decision. That's what I'm rolling with. Next fight we've got is Ricky Turcios taking on Kevin Natividad. Kevin Natividad. Ricky Turcios is on a 1-fight losing streak. He lost to Zahabi, 1-1 in the UFC. Really solid debut and just a turd against Zahabi. We'll look at the recap here so you can see what I'm talking about. 27 strikes in a 3-round match, landing at an 11% clip. Yeah, just really awful stand-up performance. Did not look good in this fight. Did not look good in this fight at all. Natividad, he's coming off of 2 losses. He's 0-2 in the UFC. Both were KOs. Miles John, Patrick Aldana. Both guys carry some power for sure. All 3 of his professional losses have come via KO. Stylistically, you can see he's got some pretty low volume, pretty poor, strike discrepancy, low accuracy with his strikes. Does carry some decent power. I think it would be wise for him in this matchup to try and get some takedowns. I like Ricky Tercios in this spot. I'm going to go with Ricky Tercios on the money line. I like him to win this fight. If we're looking at the win-by percentages, yeah, I mean, obviously Natividad has the 3 KO losses. Might be tough to bet on a prediction for this fight. I kind of like the decision. Odds makers do as well. But statistically, given Natividad's losing record, maybe that KO carries some value at plus 400 there. Not sure. Look at Tercios' recent fights. The dude's a crazy guy. Got an arm bar recently. 2016 was his last knockout victory. So it's been a minute. It's definitely been a minute. The dude's, he had an amazing debut. Just really bad performance last fight. I'm looking to see him bounce back here. He is the slight favorite. I think he should be more of a favorite if we see, that version of him who showed up in his debut. Moving on to the next fight, we've got Vince Morales taking on, I'm going to check my chat here. God damn it. The sex bots are here. You will get blocked. That's all I can do. Vince Morales taking on Miles Johns. Vince Morales is heading into this fight on a 1-fight losing streak. Lost to Jonathan Martinez. Carries solid experience. Taking on Miles John, who's coming in on short notice. Basically looking at these 2 fighters, Vince Morales is just kind of pretty hittable. I think in his losses that we've seen, he's just gotten his legs eaten up with leg kicks. Martinez, Gutierrez, obviously that's a big part of their game plan in any fight. But Miles John, just do leg kicks, get takedowns, could probably win this fight. Miles Johns is going to hold the grappling advantage. I think the fight will be really close on the feet. I think if Miles John, his cardio holds up and he can, secure like 2 takedowns in this fight, I think it's an easy W for him. If Vince Morales, is fending off takedowns, which he's not real great at 43% takedown defense. And if he's able to keep it standing, tire out Miles John, yeah, he could win, I suppose. But I'm going to roll with Miles Johns here. Get some leg kicks, mix up some wrestling, walk out of there with the W. -70, he's the favorite. Odds makers do like this one to go the distance. Looking at their win-by percentage, I guess that's reasonable. Miles Johns does carry some power. I don't think we're going to see him, at least if he's winning, I don't think we're going to see him in a position where he's just throwing haymakers on the feet. Did have that knockout win against Kevin Natividad, but, he's has 2 other knockouts. Out of his 3 losses, all 3 are knockout losses. So I'm going to go with Miles Johns. Probably it goes the distance, I'd say. So another decision. Kind of boring. If you were building a same bet parlay, maybe you could do Miles Johns over... Oh, those are minutes. Over 1.5. Do the fight parlays. I was going to see if they had takedowns. Like maybe put that takedown in there, plus 550. Maybe just put 1 takedown in there. Holy shit. Plus 380, Miles Johns to win the money line, and then just he gets a takedown. MJ plus 1 takedown plus 380. It's a weird bet, but I kind of like it. Moving on to the next fight, we've got Jennifer Maia taking on Marina Moroz. Jennifer Maia, on a 2-fight losing streak, has faced really solid competition, has fought the best. Shevchenko, who did she lose to last? Fioro, Chukagian, has fought some freaking outstanding fighters. Chukagian twice. Yeah. Really, really fierce competition. She's taking on Marina Moroz, who is on a 3-fight win streak. Looking at each fighter's win-by percentage. Actually, moving on. I think Jennifer Maia's biggest advantage here is going to be perhaps grappling. Again, though, another fighter who just doesn't, like Demopoulos had a really low, number of takedowns per match, even though she's, most dangerous as a grappler. Jennifer Maia, same deal. Really, really low takedown average, low takedown accuracy. But it would do probably both fighters a lot of good to get takedowns. This is a close fight. I really don't feel confident either way. I would say I'm going to go with Marina Moroz just because of what we saw in her last fight. I thought she looked pretty good in her last fight. She's competitive, is what I picked up from it. Yeah, I'm going to go with Marina Moroz. She is the favorite at minus 190. I would expect this to go the distance. Odds makers agree at minus 300. Yeah, I would say Marina Moreau's decision. Minus 105 there. Probably just going to put her in on the, the money line if I were to bet on that fight. I don't think you should. I think if Jennifer Maia is able to secure takedown, she'll look really good. Whew. It's Johnny Walker I'm drinking. Tastes like wood chips. It's rough. Next fight we've got is Charles Johnson taking on Zhalgas Zhumagulov. Charles Johnson, tough debut. Gets put in the octagon against, is it Muhammad Makayev? Obviously undefeated fighter. Wants to be the youngest champion ever. It's going to be hard for him to do that, but, was put in there against him. Really doesn't have any answers for the grappling attack of Muhammad Makayev. Does a good job of surviving, shows off some incredible cardio, just being in tough positions, surviving, getting back to his feet, but then just getting taken down repeatedly. Didn't have the ability to get Makayev off of him, and Makayev basically wrestled him, to a decided decision. 12 takedowns of 26 attempts, just crazy persistent with the takedowns in that matchup. Makayev was. He's heading into this fight against Zhalgas Zhumagulov, who carries, he's a decent grappler in his own right. He's explosive. He carries some decent punch power. 34 is definitely getting older. Like his volume, but he's also kind of hittable and does have a fighting, it looks like a strike deficiency, not in his favor there. I'm going to go with Charles Johnson here. I think it was a really tough fight against Makayev, but he also showed off some pretty insane cardio, pretty insane grappling ability in his own right. And, physically he is a strong puncher, strong wrestler. He could end up being, pretty good in the division, in my opinion. I'm going to roll with Charles Johnson as the pick. If Zalgo wins, he'll probably catch Charles with something early, is my opinion. I expect it to be close, to be competitive if it does reach a decision. Zhalgas just, he is super competitive. How many fights of his have gone to decision? Here you go, Zhalgas. 6-5 in decision, so 11 out of his 21 professional fights have gone the distance. I kind of like Charles Johnson in this spot. I also kind of want to see him, admittedly, I want to see him get a win after the tough debut. I'm going to roll with Charles Johnson, who is the favorite, at minus 170. I'm going to say it's a decision, minus 200 decision. So I'm saying Charles Johnson wins the decision, I guess, at plus 150. Definitely rolling with Charles here. Let's check out the chat, see what's going on. Oh my gosh. you're getting hit in. You're done. I wonder if that hides it for everyone. I hope it does, because that's what I'm trying to do. But my only options are, I can report this. Yeah, let's do unwanted. Yeah, it's unwanted. You're getting reported. There we go. That'll teach him. Next fight we've got is Jack Della Maddalena taking on Danny Roberts. Jack is 2-0 in the UFC on a 12-fight win streak. That's crazy. You look at his professional career, starts off 0-2, and is just undefeated since then. Good hands, excellent power, taking on Danny Roberts, 18-6, 1-fight losing streak. Awesome experience. But comparing the two fighters, I don't really know where Danny Roberts has the advantage. Maybe grappling, probably grappling. But I would expect this fight to play out primarily on the feet. And I think Jack is going to be super dangerous in this match and probably, score a KO victory. 83% of his wins have come via KO. And if you're looking at Danny Roberts' losses, even recently, he can get KO'd. He can definitely get KO'd. Like Jack a lot in this spot. So do the odds makers. He's the biggest favorite on tomorrow's card, minus 660 here. Odds makers do not like this one to go the distance, minus 360. Makes sense. They like the Jack Maddalena KO at minus 225. Maybe there's a same game parlay that can be built here. If we like the Jack Maddalena KO and we just want to, I don't know, continue to stack value, that makes sense. Like if he's going to get a KO, he's probably going to get a knockdown, right? I expect him to be the better fighter on the feet. Maybe that significant strike's a risky bet. I don't know. He's a heavy favorite there at minus 550. So even removing that, with these 4 picks under 2.5, Jack Maddalena KO, and the most knockdowns with Jack Maddalena, plus 115. We've improved our odds tremendously. You can risk less, win more. It's a good thing. It's a good thing for sure. The next fight we've got is Andre Fiallo taking on Muslim Salikov. This one's a tough one to predict, in my opinion. Andre Fiallo, we've seen him look really good. We've seen him look really bad. Dude is definitely hittable, absorbs a lot of strikes per minute, carries awesome power, just gets hit a lot. Muslim Salikov, really low output, also a good fighter as far as stand-up, carrying a lot of power. This is just a weird... I think this is going to be a knockout. It's just hard to predict, like, who it's going to come from. Comparing the stand-up stats, you can just see, like, Fiallo's nowhere near as defensively sound as Salikov. Salikov did get knocked out his last fight against the Leech. Lee. We've seen them both show pretty bad cardio. I think with Fiallo, I'm thinking of like Michel Pereira. That fight, he just, was super gassed. Yeah, decision. Lost that. Has this, a couple solid first round KOs. Then he gets KO'd, pretty much outclassed and KO'd by Jake Matthews. Salikov, up until the fight against the Leech, was on a winning streak, scoring a lot of decision victories. Just carries kind of some low output. This fight's either going to be, I think, a finish or a really tough decision to score, given both fighters' output. I think just because I don't really trust either of the fighters, I'm going to say it's wisest to roll with the underdog, and for that reason, I'm going to go with, it's not even that great, Andre Fiallo. I like Fiallo, though. I like his boxing. Providing he doesn't get caught. I think I like the finish a little bit more than even taking a money line bet. Odds makers agree. They don't think this will go the distance. Like I said, if it does go the distance, I think it's going to be maybe a tough to score decision. Just trying to see fight lines. Maybe it's under. Splitter majority decision plus 750. I think it's going to be a finish. I'm just thinking if it's not, maybe that's a hedge play. I don't know. I'm writing it down. By the way, let me go ahead and put my Twitter in the chat. Go ahead, give me a follow there. I do post my picks, my official picks in the morning every Saturday, so I'll do that again tomorrow. I would say in this one, I think the bet would be that it doesn't go the distance. I'm rolling with Fiallo, but Fiallo's obviously lost a little bit more via KO, 3 KO losses. Salikov, just the one. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Fiallo KO as the method of victory. The next fight we've got is Chase Sherman taking on Waldo Cortez Acosta. Heavyweight fights, not a great one, but should be, entertaining. Chase Sherman, he's heading into this fight. I think he just beats Vandera. Are they both coming off of wins versus Vandera? Yeah, he scored the third round KO victory versus Vandera, and Acosta scored the 3-round decision against Vandera, at the end of October, 2 months ago. I think I like the Vanilla Gorilla, Chase Sherman here. I think this fight plays out primarily on the feet. I think I'm gonna roll with Chase Sherman. As far as I'm gonna roll with Chase Sherman as my pick. I don't feel great about either of these fighters. Acosta, could he be quicker? And more powerful? Maybe he could be. Chase Sherman is definitely the more experienced fighter heading into this. Maybe I'm dumb in picking Sherman, but I just feel like Sherman should win this if he just stays within himself, does good boxing. He should be able to walk out of there. I think Acosta would benefit from takedowns in this, but we'll see what ends up happening. Chase Sherman is the... Oh, wow, he's the underdog. Odds makers don't like this one to go the distance. They like the KO. I'd maybe have to agree. I don't know if something just fell from my ceiling or if I saw a reflection of light or something. I think that's what it might have been. I thought it was a bug. I'm going to roll with Chase Sherman here. I'm going to roll with Chase Sherman, score the knockout, maybe second round, something like that. He gets the knockout. Just has obviously a lot of output, kind of takes a lot of damage. Look at the win-by percentages. You gotta like the finish, right? The knockout or the finish. What's the winning methods here? Knockout is minus 190. You gotta like it. And then if you're looking there at their, Sherman's losses, he has 4 knockout losses. Let's go with the knockout minus 190 on like a round robin bet. Next fight we've got is Kennedy Njoku taking on Ion Cutelaba. Cutelaba is heading into this fight on a 2-fight losing streak. Kennedy Njoku is on a 1-fight winning streak. Cutelaba, I think he was looking okay in his last fight and then ends up getting submitted by Johnny Walker. Is a good grappler, is capable of... Doesn't look like he was doing well. Lost in the first round, but he's capable of taking fighters down, grappling. The dude is a persistent grappler. He's powerful, explosive with his hands and the ground and pound. I think, could Njoku knock him out? Definitely. Late in the fight, I think he could absolutely knock out Cutelaba. I just think it's kind of hard to bet on Kennedy just because Cutelaba is going to be the better fighter, especially early in this. So it's like if Cutelaba takes 2 rounds and can't put Kennedy out, Kennedy could definitely still score that 3rd round knockout, 2nd round knockout. But I like Cutelaba's skill set in this matchup, but he's got to show better cardio. No doubt about it. I think I like the finish a lot in this matchup. I'd say a knockout. Cutelaba is the underdog at plus 150. Odds makers don't like this one to go the distance, minus 300. I'd have to say, I mean, I guess if I like Kudalaba, yeah, the submission's not even there. I'd have to say the knockout is my prediction here at minus 200. So another KO, minus 200. Yeah, I think Kudalaba, if he's not able to take out Kennedy, he just gasses himself out to the point where there's no way he can make it the full 15 minutes. The next fight, the main event. Ooh. Gasoline. Derek Lewis taking on Sergey Spivac. Derek Lewis, he's on a 2-fight losing streak. I think he's like 3-4 in his last 4. 1-3 in his last 4. You know, he hasn't been great as of late, but obviously, swinging and banging, he carries the, some incredible power in his fists. Just absurd power in his fists. Maybe not as elusive as a lot of the other heavyweights that are, in the top 10, but just carries absurd one-punch power. Sergey Spivac, he's heading into this. He's on a 2-fight win streak. I mean, this should be fireworks. Regardless if it's Sergey Spivac getting Derek Lewis out of there or Derek Lewis catching Sergey Spivac, I kind of think this matchup is set up to be a finish. I want to pull up Derek Lewis's stats real quick. The dude, for some reason, he's decent against grapplers. Chris Dawkins, Curtis Blades, Olynyk, Latifi, lost to Junior Dos Santos, but has shown to be pretty good against the grapplers in his career, or at least capable of catching grapplers with knockouts. Sergey Spivac, his path to victory is easy. It's just take down Derek Lewis, ground and pound until Derek Lewis is done, and the ref calls the fight. Derek Lewis, don't get taken down. Save gas in the tank to be explosive on, standing up, and then save gas in the tank so you can catch Sergey with a clean power shot, and you could win the fight. It seems like Spivac should be the obvious pick. That's who I'm going to roll with on my money line prediction. But I think Derek Lewis is definitely, like, his power alone just makes this a pick'em, in my opinion. And for that reason, I love Derek Lewis's odds. I'm sure his odds for the KO as an underdog are appealing too. He's plus 170. Sergey Spivac minus 200. No one likes us to go to the distance. Minus 750. Derek Lewis KO plus 215. Spivac KO plus 120. Plus 140. Yeah, I mean, what's not to like about the Derek Lewis KO? I think you could do a same game parlay, not even choosing a winner, where you go like under 2.5. You do method of victory KO, and you're at minus 135 there. put in Sergey Spivac with the most takedowns, plus 220. Again, not even choosing a winner. Yeah, but that minus 135 is kind of interesting. Just as a safer bet, than Spivac or Lewis. I think it's going to be a early stoppage. Just Lewis isn't really built for the 5-round fights, He doesn't really have the gas tank in him. So I guess I'm going with Sergey Spivac, knockout inside the distance via ground and pound, ref stoppage. But definitely like the Derek Lewis odds. So I'm going ahead and I'm logging in here to Twitter so we can do our trending topics. Before I do that, I want to go ahead and pull up my Twitter. Here it is, Bill Callahan 92. I started something new this week. I don't really, the website definitely needs some work, but I've got this, we'll figure it out. I just built the Wix today. I've got a domain too, so that'll probably change. You don't need to favor this or anything, but it's gonna be it's a blog, and it's gonna be about whatever. It's gonna be called KO Bets Roulette. So if you wanted to check it out, you can. I've listed out some topics, but if you have some ideas you want me to explore, happy to do that. I saw a lot of people on Twitter this week just complaining about the discrepancy between UFC 281 and this week, and I hear you. It's a big step down as far as the name recognition and as far as the rankings are concerned. So I kind of wrote about that. Does the UFC have a card-to-card quality problem? So if you want to hear my thoughts on it, you're more than welcome to. Didn't really proofread it or anything. Tried to cite some sources, but the sources I did use, I tried to cite, just showing some graphs, like with basically the number of UFC events per year, and was just trying to make a case for why the quality doesn't really differ all that much card to card. So let's go explore, see what's going on with trending topics. The Twitter shutdown. So I guess a bunch more employees were laid off from Twitter. What does this say? Oh, it's like a dead frog. Elon Musk could have ended world hunger and poverty, and he decided to fuck up Twitter for $44 billion instead. I don't know who this person is, but they're so bitter. They are so bitter. Money clearly doesn't solve world hunger, because I think there's good people who have, happen to find themselves with a lot of money. Greed and corruption are evident everywhere, and I would just say, it takes accountability and probably bravery beyond what we're even capable of understanding to end world hunger. If a billionaire pissing away $44 billion to impede our ability to communicate, organize, and win elections isn't a reason to tax the shit out of super wealthy, I don't know what it is. That's someone with the blue wave. I mean, it's a pretty out in the open, forward way of looking at the platform. Yeah, but I mean, Twitter's not going to get shut down. They were grossly overstaffed. You can see it. It's evident in the entire tech industry. There's just a lot of cost cutting going on, let's say. So if you're non-essential, you're essentially gone, and that's just the reality of the situation. I don't think, did Elon, okay, given those circumstances, I don't think it was wise for employees to be disrespectful online. I mean, it was basically like raising your hand and volunteering to be let go. So I don't really... I've said this, I've mentioned it on the stream too a while ago. I just don't know, I don't know, obviously it's an important communication tool, but I don't really know what social media in its current iteration offers as far as value to people beyond entertainment. I think it offers a lot to, obviously, advertisers, because you have a ton of users, and that is the product you monetize, is your users. But as far as its usefulness and resourcefulness and what it contributes to society, I think a lot of technology was overvalued, and I think we're people are kind of all figuring out together in real time that that's the case. I don't know what happened to Elizabeth Holmes, but yeah, I want to talk about this FTX situation more. But yeah, Elizabeth Holmes was Theranos founder and CEO. I don't know who she is, but she's going to jail for 11 and a quarter years, it looks like, for fraud. Duping investors in her once lauded blood testing startup. Failed blood testing company. Oh. So fraud. It's whatever. I want to talk a little bit about FTX, because I think that's super interesting. It's it's pretty fucked up how the media is kind of treating this situation. This is it's cryptocurrency, but it was a financial institution it's a bigger failure than Enron, Lehman Brothers, and the way it's being covered is it's kind of doesn't make a lot of sense. They're talking about it here, puff pieces on criminals that have stolen billions of dollars and could potentially be involved in washing taxpayer dollars in a money laundering scheme is it's horrible. And I think it's important to just wait a little bit to see what comes out, but at the very least it's inexcusable that someone is so connected with politicians in a way that's off-putting. Maxine Waters is she's gonna be the one conducting the interviews. There was like a video of her blowing him a kiss today. Like it just the incompetence in this situation and the way it's being covered is irresponsible, and I mean, it needs to be like, so the dude is he's the number 2 donor to the Democratic political party behind George Soros. And like, I mean, it says it here, like what Sam has done is he's confessed to numerous felonies. What he's done is way worse than what Bernie Madoff did. I mean, it's to a more extreme scale, I should say. And Bernie Madoff was arrested within 24 hours of fraud being revealed. So, I mean, it's pretty crazy. Twitter's done an awesome job of documenting some different shit that's gone on with this. There was like, I mean, it's pretty fucked up. It's fucking weirdos in the crypto community. I love crypto. I think crypto is, as a utility, carries tremendous value. I love the idea of decentralized money that, we're going through inflation right now. We don't control monetary policy as citizens. None of the politicians control monetary policy. It's the feds that control that. So, it would be nice to have something that wouldn't be I shouldn't say it's not that it wouldn't be manipulated. We see in exchanges how, even our stock exchanges, how companies institutions can really drive up the price of specific companies. But, I think something decentralized, that non-amendable, something that can't be manipulated, I think that's transparent is a good thing. Grayscale liquidated, so it's another cryptocurrency. I'm seeing Binance might. Yeah, it's going to be a chain effect. This happened 7 days ago, the FTX collapse. To think there won't be ripples because of how money and investments get rehypothecated. I mean, this could be the spark of a, financial crisis. We got to see what happens, but we're talking of about tens of billions of dollars that are just missing. Kathy Griffin's back on Twitter. Top G. Andrew Tate was canceled. He's back. I mean, he was never... I don't think he hangs out on Twitter, really. But... what is this? Flagrant 1? Giannis doesn't even move after this flagrant from Embiid. Yeah, that was a big-ass shoulder by Embiid to the ribs. Yikes. Let me check some scores here. For NBA. I love the NBA. I picked the Cavs, the Bulls, the Pacers, Dallas, I think Boston, Phoenix, Golden State tonight were my picks. What the fuck is going on with the Bulls? Like, we're playing the Orlando Magic. They don't have Banchero available. I mean, they've got some incredible length. It looks like they're playing tonight, but like, Levine's been bad. He's been bad. You see this 1 for 12 tonight, but like, this Billy Donovan, I think we got to get rid of Billy Donovan, and I think we should do it. I think we should pivot soon, early. We're going to be... It's just so frustrating, because I think we should be a lot better offensively, and we should be showing a lot more effort on the defensive end. Yeah, I mean, we're facing Boston, Milwaukee, OKC, Utah, Phoenix, Golden State, Sacramento. Like, I don't know. It just seems like we're gonna miss the playoffs this year. I really don't see it turning around. Like, our next easy game is gonna be the 7th. Like, I don't like us to beat Boston. I'm going to be at that game. I don't like us to win versus Milwaukee, Utah, Phoenix, Golden State, Sacramento. Like, the league is so deep, and we're just, like, not good right now. I don't know how else to describe it. We're just not good. It's a huge bummer. I'll probably turn on this game, give it a little watch, see how it ends. Probably be pissed off with it, but it is what it is. Sometimes your teams don't live up to expectations. I'll do an NFL stream this Sunday. I had the wedding last weekend, but I'll do an NFL stream on Sunday. And yeah, like I said, follow me on Twitter if you wouldn't mind. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, helps me out, and I appreciate the support. Follow me on Twitter. I'll post my picks tomorrow morning. And good luck to everyone. Have a good night. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. And stay safe.